Happy Monday and welcome to another episode of cases that should have gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. Today we're talking about a rat infestation. Cases that should have gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. Mr. Gingras owned commercial property in Quebec. Unfortunately, his commercial property became infested with rats, and although he tried various measures to control the rat infestation, nothing worked. Eventually, he enlisted the assistance of the city to try and investigate and determine the cause of the rat infestation. By doing an investigation of the sewer pipes, the city discovered cracks in the pipes that may have allowed rats to enter into his commercial property. What was very interesting in this case is that the city had in fact discovered these cracks in the sewer pipes many years earlier, all the way back in 2006. Mr. Gingras sued the city for negligence, arguing that when they discovered the sewer cracks, they should have fixed them so as to prevent such an infestation. The court did agree with Mr. Gingras that the city was negligent not to fix the infestation, or not to fix the cracks in the sewer pipes, but found that they didn't cause the infestation because there was not sufficient evidence of a causal connection. However, there was no other source for the rats to have come into Mr. Gingras's property. This case is very interesting because it raises one of those very interesting questions of when damage is done to your property and the remoteness of the cause or a connection to the cause. The Supreme Court of Canada had the opportunity to clarify here the old law that hasn't been developed in years and years on causation on the basis of science and of knowledge that we've developed over the last 50 years. The Supreme Court of Canada had the opportunity to allow for people to show a connection between the possibility of something occurring and the damage that did occur and rule out any other possible causes for that damage. Unfortunately, they didn't allow the possibility for the causation rule to be expanded to include circumstances like this, where it's obvious to anybody with common sense that the damage to Mr. Gingras's complex, which ultimately had to be demolished, was done by the rats and was the fault of the city. The law of causation is very frustrating, and it limits a lot of actions that would otherwise succeed. The Supreme Court of Canada had the opportunity to put things right for people here, and unfortunately they declined that opportunity. Mr. Gingras lost his property, and numerous other people are going to lose their property or lose their health or wellness as a result of the narrow application of the causation rule. Hopefully the Supreme Court of Canada takes the opportunity to expand the definition of causation in civil cases so that people can have relief in the future. You're watching Cases that should have gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. This is Kyla Lee with Acumen Law Corporation and cases that should have gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't.